David from somewhere overseas. We have Max
Here.
from Melbourne. Yeah.
Right. Anu is raising her hand.
All right, so good. We'll just start basically. I'm sure everyone, the new people, have heard the topic of non-duality. And what we'd like to emphasize here isn't non-duality. We emphasize duality with the hopes that you'll see the duality from non-duality. Because if you go by the basic assumption of non-duality, it's you are what you're looking for. So, I mean, you're it in a sense. So basically, why can't the message you're it get through? Because uh, there's sort of an act of identification as something other. And that act of identification is very quick in time. It arises usually without any notice, and then it establishes itself as us. So when we hear descriptions of what we are, we basically hear the descriptions as what we're not. And that's why people go to 800 satsangs with the hopes of still getting it. Yeah, because it's a stubborn habit. It's not yours, it's just mechanical. But basically, you can't reason with it or convince it or present enough evidence to sort of it to move to the winning side. You just gotta have to see that it's not you, really. And in that sense that it's not you, and you see it as another activity without a doer. You know, like supposedly Buddha said a beautiful statement out of many, which was, events happen, deeds are done. So there's no argument with that. No one's saying there is no doing. We're saying there is no doer. Yeah, it's different. I'm now changing the shirt, Mike, because it's getting hot. So entering my second phase of shirt. Yeah, so we're not arguing with there's doing or thinking or feeling, and we really don't have much of an opinion about good thinking and bad thinking or good or bad. What we want to question, in a sense, is there a someone? Yeah, does the doing immediately, with incredible authority and super clarity, always imply a doer? To the point where, when you may not be doing much, you still feel like you're the doer. Yeah. So our emphasis hopefully is on what we're not, because I believe at this very moment we all are what we are. Yeah. But there's an activity it doesn't have us convinced. It has its time, and especially made in time, and it's got its time on the stage. So it seems to have developed an attraction to a lot of interest and attention, and it's difficult to see that interest and attention moved. So the best way to recognize it is, see, there's not a you that you're interested in, or you're not the one that's interested in the you. It just leads to a loss of interest in that mental idea, and then there's a gaining of interest and attention to a lot of things and no things that you'll find out about, yeah, because you are that. So I went to satsangs, and I heard people describe that all there is consciousness, and you are the extreme brilliant emptiness and stuff like that. And they're, first of all, they usually start the meeting with, well, this is indescribable, and then spend 50 minutes describing it. Or this is unknowable, and then there's a feeling that they know it or somehow. Or it's unimaginable, but they try to explain it to us. So I went with that, and it worked on other topics in the umbrella of spirituality. It just didn't work with this topic. Yeah, it worked with Buddhism. It did. It worked with Hinduism. It worked with Taoism, but it didn't work with non-duality. Yeah, because non-duality points to that. That's its pointing. It's pointing to the imaginary one. Yeah. That hides itself in other practices, yeah? It's like a huge sore thumb, and it's really the reason why a lot of the shit never works, and they actually serve us by not working, because maybe you realize that you have something to do with the failure of Buddhism, yeah? You have something to do with why you're not getting it. And then non-duality just brings it out, as it's hidden in the sort of mental weeds and grasses. The non-duality invitation brings it out. You can see the activities that are constantly being used to imply that there's the you. It puts it in a very strong contrast, yeah, that other talks don't do, in a way, because the other talks sort of have you included already. Yeah, like you're welcomed as what you're not, and then we're gonna talk to what you're not. Maybe it turns into therapy for what you're not. Usually, as soon as there's question and answer, usually the first question is about relationships, and then it's completely the horses are out of the barn, and then it's just the teacher loses the whole meeting in a sense, because now everyone's talking about me and her, her and me, da da da. So the point is this isn't, non-duality isn't palpable, isn't able to be digested by what we're not. It isn't, yeah? And it really doesn't, it can chew it a lot, and it still doesn't get much nourishment out of it. It doesn't get incredibly great mental advantages. It just feels, because other people see you full of shit. So when you say, oh, I didn't do something, but because there's no Paul to do it, the person sees right through it. He says, you're full of shit. Just fucking do that, Do the chore. So this idea of non-duality, it doesn't have like the pointing and the direction other messages have. It's more of a turning this way instead of pointing that way, yeah? And just to start checking out this experience you're in all day, and this interpretation you seem to be in all day, and all the insane ideas that are being entertained inside that space, yeah? And some of them were pretty huge. This whole assumption that most of us believe we can be out of a moment, that one blew my mind. And it used to flip me out about how many books were sold based on that premise that you could be out of a moment. All the books about how to get into the moment, their whole story is predicated on you have a strong possibility, not only that you can be out of the moment, but you are out of the moment. Yeah, and you may be way out of the moment. You're going to need the 3 editions of how to get in the moment, how to really get into the moment, and how to really, really get into the moment. You may have to read all 3 books because you are so freaking out of the moment. But has anyone just stopped and seen if that is true? Yeah. When I looked, I've never not been in a moment that I'm in. I'm always here. So why am I trying to get to where I always am? Yeah, it just makes no sense. It makes sense if you believe something. But if the beliefs get questioned, the whole logic makes absolutely no sense. The whole logic that, all right, I'm going to a meeting and they're going to talk about what I truly am, and what I'm really truly not is never going to become obvious. I mean, it's going to sometime, it's sort of like going into a meeting with the zipper down. Someone's going to say your zipper's down and what? And you'll become aware of something, I hope. Yeah. So this whole point is how can you get out of what you're not in? How? Yeah. And how long would it take to escape an imaginary place? And what would be necessary to succeed in that escape? Nothing. You're successful. You're not in what you believe you got to get out of. What? Yeah, you're not. I feel like it. I know you do. The thoughts think I am. I know that. I do. And yet I'm not going to be moved by that. I'm not. Because I don't believe that shit. I don't believe the thoughts are coming from a clear place. I don't believe feelings they're just there to be interpreted. Yeah. Most people don't even know what they're feeling. Sometimes when they're excited, they think they're nervous, Sometimes when, let's say after a big meeting like this, you're very, very high, and then there's a come down. You think, oh no, I'm entering a lifelong depression. No, it's just a natural, there's a big expansion, there's going to be a little contraction. That's how it goes. Yeah? So we can't even read the tea leaves that we're in the whole time, all day. How are we going to go to, advanced degrees of mysticism and try to, understand the mysteries of the universe? We can't even figure out why, one leg is shorter than the other on my pants. Yeah. You have these incredible meetings, and you know what? You change one day in the schedule, everyone's fucking confused. All right. Next Wednesday is not going to happen. It's going to happen Thursday. They're all lost. They're all lost. But yet, they want to know why all this shit's happening and why it doesn't stabilize. They can't even figure out, the difference between today and Thursday. Yeah. So the premise is here. The premise of non-duality is basically the story of gone, gone, gone to the other shore upon arriving on having never left. Yes, this is the inside joke of non-duality. You are what you're looking for. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Now what happens is if the head has invested in 30 years of looking for it, it may not be that open to that solution. Yeah? Because the head has an investment of finding what's not lost. So what happens if it's always in the pursuit of finding what's not lost? It has to presuppose that there's been a loss, obviously. That somehow you screwed up so much you separated from the Godhead. Yeah? And now you're wandering in whatever. So you have to believe an incredible story of shit that you could not possibly do. Yeah? So this is just, all right, why can't I experience this? Because you're it. Why can't I understand it? Because you're it. Yeah? Why can't I find it? Because it's never been lost. Yeah? When am I going to arrive? Now. Yeah. What location here? How much time will it take? None. Yeah? Will I ever lose it? No. Because you never found it. Yeah? So the whole dualistic slinky, law is broken because you are that. So there's a famous old story about a lady who has this beautiful necklace, and then she believes she's lost it, yes? And she's bummed out because of the loss of this necklace. So she's complaining to a lot of her friends, and then she asks them, will you please help me find this necklace? So these people are about as out to lunch as she is, so now they pursue trying to find the lost necklace. Yeah. Now the fact that may be questioned, is it lost? But that's beside the point. There's a belief it's been lost. Now the next appropriate reaction would be find it. So now they're busy trying to find it, and they're looking on the internet, and they run across some person in Eastern Europe who's given talks about finding the necklace. So all right, you go on the Zoom, and everyone's there. And sitting here, I see everyone has a necklace. But the assumption in the square is they've lost the necklace. Now, who am I to argue with that, So there they are. So each week they come to the meeting with the necklace on, but there's a stubborn belief that they've lost the necklace. And they've spent a lot of years and a lot of money trying to find it, yeah? And a lot of people assisted to take some of their money to try to find it. So now finally someone comes to this meeting and the person goes, hey, feel your neck, yeah? It doesn't mean, oh, you must prepare yourself for 30 years and purify to feel your neck. No, just feel your neck right now. What do you feel? Fuck, a necklace. I found the necklace. Oh, thank you, Paul. I found the necklace. But no, and now the person's super blissed out. But the weird thing is she never lost the necklace. So what would you call dreaming? Never losing the necklace, but being bummed out by the idea that you lost the necklace. That's dreaming. Yeah? What's another aspect of dreaming? Totally super stoked when you find a necklace which was never lost. That's dreaming, yes? There's a dreaming that you've lost something that's never been lost, so in the hopes that you'll find something, yeah? So that you can have a joy, yes? And you're willing to pay the bum outness to get the shot of the joy. It's like spiritual addiction. I want to get the rush of finding out the truth. Well, you are the truth. Wow, that's not that exciting. If I want to find the truth. You are the truth. Sorry, it's that that exotic adventure is off the list. You know what I mean? You're the truth. But I want to. Nope, that's off. You know what I mean? I want to spend my whole life looking for it. You're what's looking right now. So, wait a minute. I've longed and I've prayed. It's already here at all times. Not based on your own conditions. Because they're not your own condition. Yeah? Oh, why have I missed it all these lifetimes? You never missed it. The first part's extended in time. The other one is no time. Yeah? I want to take a lot of time to return to no time. No, that's not it. There's no returning to no time. Because you can't leave it. So, the joy of return is taken from you. You're like a little baby, having a little tantrum. I want my little whatever, thumb pacifier. All right. Do these practices and know what's going to happen. They're going to fail you. And you're going to come to a conclusion after every possible thing you ever could have possibly done has failed you. That was their value. Yeah? So that you realize you are what you're looking for. That's the message of non-duality. Yeah? That is. It's not a message that you're going to become what you are. It isn't. Yeah? And it's not because becoming what you are would be premised on an insane idea that you unbecame what you are, which I don't see happening. So the becoming what you are can only be available if there was an unbecoming of what you are, which isn't so, yes? I remember I used to do live talks a long time ago, and it would be great. It's so weird sometimes. I would be involved in a kirtan community with no I never did, it wasn't my thing, so to speak. But people, and so someone asked me, can they play music before? I go, yeah, great, play music. And everyone would be feeling great. And then I'd walk in and say, okay, here's the bad news. But the beautiful thing is, being here at all times, as soon as I heard the kirtan, I was blissed out in 2 seconds. Yeah, it was fucking great. Because what you would hope for, what you would think is a reflection of that eternal longing, I had a belonging. It was no eternal longing put to song. I was just fucking, I'm available. Yeah. So I was available to the bliss of kirtan in like a half a second. That's what happens, yeah. My humble feeling is the premise of non-duality is true. It's not going to become true or made to be true. It's true, in spite of us, completely, yeah? It's a fact. And the dilemma with us is we've been assuming we're a fact. And one fact is sort of causing an irritability to the other fact. And the other fact doesn't really want to be looked at that much, yeah? Because it's like a house built on sand, as Jesus supposed said, yeah? It's very shifty and based on circumstances and situations, yeah? So what we're saying is we're going to look from the fact of non-duality and check out all the assumed facts that we seem to have been living from, yeah? And let's just see what happens. I believe to knock down all the dominoes, all you have to do is knock down one. Remember those things? You just hit the one domino and it knocks them all down. The one domino is this idea of being the long-lasting, independent, separate entity. Yeah. The doer, the feeler, the thinker, the haver, the loser, the wanter, the hater, the lover, all that, yes? All those activities that can arise based on whatever's going on that have been neutered and frozen by the turning the ing into an er, a seer, a hearer, a feeler, a seeker, yes? And then seeking, which is a beautiful expression with that drive of arriving somewhere, sort of sucks, yeah? So, yeah. I mean, the seeking is actually you're seeking to express that which you are, not to find that which you are. You know what I mean? I'm seeking to express something at these talks. I'm not talking to find something. Yeah, trying to hopefully get a sense of intimacy that I know you are. Yeah, to have it rub, even through this modality of screen and Zoom, it still goes through. It does. I can sense it. So, yeah. Because that one little rub does more than tons of other shit. It does, yeah? Because there's a knowing already. There is. You don't need to... The need to know has a limited amount of knowing that's needed, yeah? Because it does its job like a booster rocket, and then the real purpose of the mission, it has nothing to do with and it drops off, yes? This is what it's like. Yeah. It's beautiful, yet its service is over. Now, there's a sense of onness that doesn't need to be reinforced or put with crutches to keep it going. You're not keeping anything going, yeah? It's a total disarming of your job as the great maintainer or the great gardener. No, you're like a paintbrush to a great artist, really. Yeah? All your bristles, they don't need to be purified. what this power wants to express to you will be perfectly delivered by the combination of the ink or the paint and your bristles. Yeah. Whatever they call them. Yeah. I don't believe this life was about the Toyota turning into a fucking, divine Bentley. I don't. I feel the Toyota is sort of like the booster rocket for the time, for living in time. And it has its end, so to speak. It's an imaginary end, just like its beginning was imaginary. It's an appearance, but it has no reality other than what's given it by us, yeah? I love it. I don't hate it. I'm not trying to, flagellate it into being better or purify it into being better. I just appreciate that it allows a quality of life to still continue after all it's been through. I'm like completely stoked it's still working. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Thanks.
Anybody want to raise their hands? And would you advocate that we start rubbing on each other?
That's up to you guys. I don't have any opinions on outside shit.
You remember the time that I came to the meeting here in the city and we had the two doors and the regular door was closed?
Yes.
Knocking, couldn't get in, and just to the right of me, there was an open door.
We watched. We watched people. I could tell people were coming to meetings and they'd just be wandering. Yeah. And they'd always have the fucking questions at the side. They couldn't even find the door to get into the meeting room, but they figured they could see the 11th ring of heaven if with their eyes. It's just insane.
John has his hand up.
Let's look at the simplicity. Yeah. First of all, if you don't agree with the basic premise of non-duality, don't come here. It's not like, you know, you're not like a herd of spiritual cows that has to get whipped down to this trough. It's just whenever it becomes attractive, there'll be meetings. Yeah. Some Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Mary, or Jane will be sharing. So yes. But if you have a feeling that somehow this idea of non-duality's got something going on, yeah, it's got a different feel to it. It's got a different whole feel to it, and maybe, it's the right knocking at the door, and so open up and listen and see, see however you hear it, or whoever you hear it through works, and just because and see if it allows you to travel later. You'll be so surprised when you get the relief, because it's not going to be for that it's from it. Yeah, it's such an incredible when the whole weird logic gets put on its head. You get relief from Paul, not for Paul. Yeah. That's what happens. And it usually coincides with a loss of interest in Paul. God forbid. A loss of interest from Paul. Now, Paul would never have thought that was how it would work. It would think Paul would have to be all in on this, focused, vigilant. No, it's already fulfilled the requirement. It tends to be out to lunch already. So just continue to be out to lunch and see what happens. Yeah. I'm just blown away completely because you are what you're looking for, truly, truly. Yeah. And when that lands, there's going to be a certain stopping of looking, because that failed journey will be canceled. as if it never even happened. Yeah, yeah. And you won't spend any time looking for what can't be found. You won't. I don't know what you'll do, but you'll definitely, yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay. Hey, Paul. Um, this is
Who's
John. John K.
Oh, John Kay.
K. Yeah. Um, a few months ago, I don't know, a number of months ago, I was talking with you. You were talking with me, and I told you a story about the wind sprints when I was in high school. That I just basically just saw this is just not working here. You know, I'd rather I don't want to go through the whole thing again, but it was about stopping and just realizing that whatever. And this was, when I was like 15 years old, which was quite some time ago. And but you said, oh, just remember that flavor, or look for that flavor, or notice that flavor, or something with that flavor. And I didn't really quite. I mean, I knew what you meant, but I couldn't well, what does that have to do with my life right now, or how does that flavor? I'm not running wind sprints, or, but how what would that even mean? And I want to say, just like in the last recently a few months or something like that, it's like another like iceberg dropped off is kind of how it feels like to me. And it's and it really is like the not running the wind sprints, just deciding, well, there's a better way than getting excited about this or that, or the getting excited or getting interested in a certain kind of way. I mean, I'm interested in making pizzas and stuff, and that seems pretty innocent. But the interest in my being outraged at whatever whatever work drama is happening nearby, just and I can't drop it. I can't execute the movement of dropping, but I'm reporting, or I'm just telling you, yeah, it is like the wind sprints of. So thanks. I mean, and anyway, I guess that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to say thanks.
Well, thank you, bro, because some of the most fun of being used to say the message is to see other people hearing the message. So that gives that's an intimate joy that I get to witness. So very appreciative of it when people
Good.
share. Yeah, yeah. Uh, it's sort of like a flavor, almost like Baskin Robbins had 38. This was like the hidden 39th flavor that actually is where all the other flavors come from. So and it's us really. You get to sense presence as us, yeah, and that's the flavor I feel a lot of us have been missing, yeah. And that's you start getting free samples, and now you can taste it, yeah, and it does wonders really. Maybe they're small wonders, but they're wonders nonetheless, yeah. And yeah, I appreciate you, John. I've yeah. The Zooms are quite intimate in some respects because I've watched you now for months, yes, and a number of us here. And yeah, it's been very cool, really. Very cool. Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much, John. Christian is up. Oh, I forgot. Sorry to take this. Where's Christian?
Christian?
There he is.
Hi, Paul.
Hey?
Can you see me? Oh,
Oops. Yes, no. Sorry.
I'll check there. Yes.
cool. I've
You're
still
in
got
a
John on my screen.
company.
There we go. Sorry, I've got too many things going on.
I'm in a versus battle with John at
There
the
we go.
moment.
There you go. Now I lost you. Right. Yes. Speaker.
Speaker. I got him on speaker view, so.
Oh, right, I can't see you. Okay.
No,
I
I
can
have
only see
to do.
myself.
I'm out. He took me out, I think.
There, that was side by side.
Ah. Yeah, hope you're well. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you concerning. I first came across non-duality a year ago, so I'm completely a newbie on the scene. And prior to learning about non-duality, I always thought like thoughts, sensations, images, feelings, they all happened within the mind. So for me, the mind was the space in which everything appeared. And now learning about awareness, I thought, is there a subtle but conflation there?
It doesn't matter, bro, because uh, don't worry about the particulars so much. It's the forest that it's not the
Yeah,
tree. It's
I
the
get
forest.
that, but for me, it is particular because I always thought the mind was confined to the skull. So for me, like
Brain, yeah, the brain. Yes.
and that is the difference because it almost like there's a subtle cognitive shift which happens like almost from portrait mode to landscape mode. So
Yeah.
from so it's almost the difference between saying that you are located in your body rather than the body is located in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that portrait to landscape mode is a very subtle but powerful shift. And I always thought the mind was software on the brain confined to the skull, to the brain. But now awareness, which is the entire space in which all thoughts and sensations appear and everything in which appears, it does make a difference. So I think
Yes.
most people.
The thing is also the that one that's being implied by the thinking it was all the mind wasn't you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that you, there's still a locus of identity that feels that sitting in the cockpit behind the eyes, that you is still there, but then it does, I feel identical to the space at times. It feels identical to the brain at times, and then it feels identical to the space at
Yeah.
times, and it's just this constant
Great. That's
copy.
cool.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that with the mind. Is it? Are we misusing the term? Is that because most people think that's the space?
Well, it's difficult with this language, but that's why I try to use mental when I'm talking about brain activities. Yeah. I use mental processes. I usually say it that way. Some people would call it small mind and big M mind, or relative mind and absolute mind. Whatever,
But language is important because that essentially breaks the spell of personhood. What we're listening to you now, it's we're looking for a chain of sounds that basically break the spell of personhood.
well, there's those, it doesn't have to break the spell. You just have to see you're not that person. The spell is going to keep being produced, but uh, the one that thinks it's in it and the one that thinks it's out of it, both of them are not us. Yeah. Yes?
Yeah.
In a way, we have one aspect of our nature is of audience. We'd never become the character. Yes. The character says it's a character in the audience and there's a character on this play, but in fact, there's something other than that that's not moving or taking it seriously or not taking it seriously. It's just going on. Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, I like the word mind to mean the big thing because that's the way they translated old Zen, which I liked, old Chinese Zen, Huang Po and everyone. They used the word mind, big M mind. So everything is mind. Mind is the Buddha is mind, whatever. Yeah? Now that doesn't mean they're not talking about the brain or the mental processes. Yes. So I feel like it's good to become clear with the words, but let's not get too obsessive around it, because the message isn't comprised by the words. There's something else going on. The words are not the message. Yeah, it just isn't. So, yeah, while we're listening to it, there's something else happening. And it's not, if you took each individual word and total it up, it wouldn't get close to what's happening. Yeah. So that's sort of what, people call that the realm of grace or something. Yeah. But I've been at every Paul Hedderman meeting, really, for thousands of them, thousands and thousands of them. And so the body, the brain sentience it's not like two coconuts below a fucking whatever, or 2 levels below a coconut. It's observed over the years what's happening, because I would notice you share, and then people come up and tell you what they heard you say, and it had nothing to do with what you were meaning. So basically, everyone's hearing it the way they're hearing it. No matter how clearly I say it, and put the dots on the I's, it doesn't matter. The person's going to hear it the way they're going to hear it. Now, what happens is what wiggles through that mental net and hits the target. Yeah, that's not a fish. It swims with the fish. It swims with the words, but it's not a word. Yeah, it's something else getting delivered, in a sense. Something that's always there being seemingly delivered. There's a certain, yeah. So, but I understand. I'm pretty sloppy, bro, because, whatever. It's sort of like verbal jazz, yeah? I may miss some notes, but I always go back to the theme.
Would I just be able to add to what you just said? Sorry.
Anyway, yeah?
What you said about what resonates, that's actually, for me, what I'm learning more through listening to Ramana, or reading Ramana, is that's the external guru. So the actual guru is, we have an internal guru inside, which is beyond the
Yeah.
mind and intellect. And anything that resonates is the external guru. They're not guru in the typical sense where it's a guy with a beard. The guru, in your words, there'll be a resonance that is speaking to my inner guru. So that is the true guru. That's
it. This is just a big a production to get something that's already there across. Yeah. And it's fun, though, we have fun. I meet these lovely people. I have more than 6 feet distance, which I like, as a personal state of, hopefully it will keep going, and it's awesome. So, yeah. I joke around a lot, but I have a lot of, I deeply honor the message, deeply, deeply, deeply honor it. And yeah. I have a lot of, you can feel it when you pause. It's just such this, yeah. But I really like you, bro. I like your, yeah. Things are getting through. Things are getting through. Now remember, you don't have to follow them all the way back. You can drop. You can stop and let it. It's sort of like, it's like that. No, just it's cool to see it to a point and then let it do its thing. Yeah. I have great faith in it. Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
All right.
Take care, dude. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. Thank you.
Thanks, Christian. JP.
Lovely shares.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. I was just thinking, I wasn't able to make last week because of work, and I'm going to have to leave a bit early today because of work. But I was just thinking, it feels like I haven't had any ice cream for a while. And just listening, just listening, it's like I'm traveling lighter. And and then I realized that I'm the ice cream machine. you know it's and I'm just wondering, it's like, how come? Well, it's not like how come. I mean, I know that when it's like when I come out of here, very often what happens is the action figure gets into fear, gets into resentment, gets into this and that. It's like, how come I can't have the ice cream a lot of the time when I'm not listening in this way? And it's not that I don't. I do. But it's yeah. And yeah,
But
I
that's
think that
the
that's
that's the cone talking. The cone is never gonna get the ice cream. It's the carrier of the ice cream. Yeah?
mm,
I get ice cream from here there on a cone. That's the job of the cone. The cone isn't getting any ice cream. Yeah. So I hear when people share sometimes, I hear the cone speaking. I want some of that ice cream. But you are the ice cream, but not as a cone. Yeah. Yeah, bro, I think you're doing great, man. I do. I've watched you. I've watched you. And you're from my tribe, too. So, yeah. A lot of people, earnestness gets into, can be claimed and turned into a mental seriousness that's not
mm,
really healthy in a way. Yeah. So I
yeah,
love when I watch some serious people start becoming less serious. It's
yeah.
great. I
Thank
love
God for that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because fuck, it's hard to keep that sphincter pucked. So puckered so long. You gotta just let
Yeah.
it loose. Occasionally, you're not gonna get it far out. Yeah.
Mm,
You're
mm,
fallible as an action figure. You're gonna get dirty here. You're gonna
mm,
be a fraud at times and a hypocrite. All this shit that we don't want to go through and means so much to our seeming image. It's just the way things are here. Everyone's dirty. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. So you remember when you were, I remember there'd be a fear of being a fraud, and then I didn't want to be a fraud, so I felt like one all the fucking time. Until you get
mm,
to a point, hey, that's a fucking possibility. I'll be fraudulent. I'll be this, I'll be that. Yeah? So fucking
mm,
what? I can make amends. Yeah?
mm,
You know? I'm not out there with vile vindictiveness trying to fucking, but I step on people's toes and shit constantly. I'm sure. Yeah?
mm,
The
mm,
action figure, I may be traveling lighter, but the action figure is still heavy, Still's got a
mm,
heavy foot here and there. Yeah. So,
mm,
this thing does weird, the mental state does a lot of weird shit. Yeah. It emphasizes stuff and it hides it in a virtuous way, but it's not. It's just more obsession with selfing. Yeah.
mm, mm.
Yeah. So, and yeah. So it's been great to watch you and other people on the Zooms loosen up. I've actually seen certain people's facial structure change. It's been great.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Because they were sort of like, they sort of look like if you know New York in the winter, in New York, when you're in New York City and you turn the corner and you get hit with a winter wind, you're like a piece of granite, and
mm,
whatever emotion you had at that second gets chiseled in, and you're frozen for about an hour. It's so cold. Doesn't matter what you're wearing; it has a certain cold. But yeah, it's nice to see all that mental fucking shit going on.
mm,
Loosen. Yeah. Yes, yes.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Yeah.
Thanks, JP. And Aaron is up.
Aaron, there's
Hey, Paul.
Susanna W. Nice to see you, Susanna.
Hey, Paul. Can you hear me okay? I think so.
I can. I gotta find you now.
Oh,
He's
that's
up.
right.
I can hear you.
Thanks for the reminder about the non-duality stuff and that I am what I've been seeking, right? And my question is about what if I'm that guy that I don't really like, right? What if I ripped that guy off? What if I broke her heart? What if I hurt my parents? What if I did all this stuff, right? And I know I
Yeah.
have other tools to deal with that kind of stuff, but I'm wondering what the non-duality message says about that, or
Well,
if
the
it
thing
does say anything about
is,
that.
you're not that, but what happens sometimes is the mental state tries to use that as a way of getting out of shit, yeah? So it won't work. So to me, what happened through the action figure here, I'm accountable for. So I need to make amends. I need to sometimes get right with the past and shit like that, so that the action figure it's running becomes lighter, so there's not so much emphasis on it, yeah? But when you're avoiding and denying shit, you're just packed in. Like the orbit is just circling the planet Aaron,
Yeah.
way too much. So that's why just make the amends where you can. If you can't, you make living amends. You just say, hey, I'd rather not live like that. I'm going to give it a shot today, yeah? And then just, yeah, render unto Caesar's what Caesar's, yeah? Yeah. I've watched a lot of people try to use non-duality, the mental state, try to use non-duality to get out of shit. It doesn't work that way, yeah? Uh, yeah, so just knock the shit off.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah, basically, from this point on, you can start with that. And then always the non duality is there to ask, well, who is it? That's because what happens is, let's say I was very bad out there, seemingly. So the mental state will try to counter that with being very good. Yeah. And now I get sort of righteous and judgmental and all that. It fluctuates in like mental flatulence, this way or this way. Yes. You're neither of that. You're not that. Yeah. You're none of it. But when you're not that which you're not tries to say I'm not that, it's trying to use it for an advantage, yeah. And I'm telling you here, it doesn't work. It won't work. Yes. So yeah, take care of what you need to take care of. Yes. And come back and entertain these ideas and see
yeah,
what happens.
I'll
Yeah.
keep doing that. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and after the meeting, and we have recovery meetings and stuff, and after the meeting, people hang out and talk about stuff, and sometimes, it's weird. There are no people, but there's a need or a feeling of belonging and to feel connected. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this is what happens. Some philosophical idea. You don't want the mental state to use it to starve you of what you need as this action figure, because it will do that also. There's a tendency to become like non-dual Pharisees, where you get the letter of the law, but you don't have the spirit of the law. Yeah, yeah. This is I don't see any kind of rigidness or extremeness working well. Yeah. You take care of what you need to take care of, and you let the other shit go. Yeah, but yeah. If not, it'll be like an elephant in the room. Yeah, it will. You're trying to avoid it through philosophy. It'll just get bigger and bigger. Yeah,
Cool. Thanks for that.
yeah.
Thanks, Aaron. And John R., Popeye from Australia.
Jana,
Hi, Paul. How you going?
Good, bro.
I had to write it down so I didn't forget. You talk a couple of times about stabilizing in whatever you want to call it. I don't have a name. Yeah, I just wondered if you could talk about that a bit, because obviously
No, I
there's been a
usually talk
swing.
about hoping it's going to stabilize.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The point
but
is,
sorry.
the point is that is stable. It's the mental state that constantly is implying it's us is unstable, and it's never going to
Absolutely.
be stable. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that which is unstable wishes for stability.
yeah.
Yeah.
There, what happened for me was I heard your message, I don't know, about 4 years ago now. And there was, well, you don't talk about it now so much, but there was a switcheroo, I think you called it at the time, where the seeing was seen sort of thing. And there's been a couple of it, obviously I've lived in that pretty well, but there was an experience the other day where my head was running and I knew that I had received the message, but I'd almost forgotten. But in the fact that was such a catalytic switcheroo, it was still there, but only as a memory rather than as a living in. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And I recognize that's their head, but it was pretty forceful, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank God that didn't stabilize.
Yeah, really.
Thank God its nature is unstable.
Yeah.
So this too shall pass.
Yeah, really. You beat me to it. Yeah.
So count your chickens there. And it wasn't your anger anyway. It's not yours. I know you know that, but the language is constantly implying shit as ours. That isn't ours. Yeah.
For sure, it's quick. It's quick.
And the thing is, it's this sense of being the alpha to everything is implied with the language, which is I'm angry when anger has you really. The way it's said in the head is I'm angry. No, the anger had you for a minute. Yeah, that
Yeah.
you that you're not gets had by a lot of fucking things all day.
Yeah.
It does. It's like an empty timeshare car. Yeah. People are getting in, things are getting in all day. Yeah.
I did find that. So I'm also going through a lot of pain, sciatica, and that, and it's waking me up in the night, and then in the morning it takes 2 or 3 hours to become vertical again. But I find if I'm talking to people like my family or whatever at that period, my mind goes off my self-centeredness and the pain disappears amazingly until I kind of look at myself and go, oh, the pain's gone. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's pretty weird.
Well, yeah, the pain, pain and suffering are different events,
Yeah.
Yes. The traveling lighter doesn't say you're not going to have any pain. It's basically implies there'll be less suffering. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, you talked about honoring the message, which is pretty clear. But my head went to be careful it doesn't turn into a religion sort of scenario rather than.
I don't see that happening with us.
A recognition. No, more of a recognition.
I don't think we look good in robes most of us.
Yeah, well.
You don't see us.
You got your
in robes.
You got your nappy on anyway, so
what?
you're getting there. Yeah. I said you got your nappy on, your diaper, whatever you call it.
That's right. My onesie.
Yeah. Oh, the onesie should be a not twosie, I think.
The onesie was an outfit. We used to do a skit on it from the old days. I was home one night going through some channels on the TV, and I saw this thing. I didn't know what it was. It was an infomercial, but I thought it was like a satire. And they had this, they were selling this thing they called Forever Lazy, which was like an adult onesie. It was like, Barney from the, remember Barney, that dinosaur? It was like a suit like that. And they were showing people at a football game and at a cocktail party wearing this fucking thing. And they said the word lazy like 50 times. And they even had it at the football. They're in the football stadium. And they go, and even when you need to go, and like the guys going to the bathroom, there's a flap in the back. I said, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I said, this got to be a joke, but it wasn't. It was you could buy it. So I went to this store, and they had 3 colors. They had blue, light blue. And I was going to buy one, and that was going to be the uniform of Zen Bitch Slap. We're gonna, and it came from the precursor to this onesie was a new thing, and it was supposedly be an answer to being on a couch with a blanket and being able to get the remote because you were tangled in your blanket. So they made a blanket with sleeves so you could get the remote faster. And then it moved to this onesie, Forever Lazy. So what we were saying is you could have boots attached, like booties. Yeah? You could. And so we were thinking it would be perfect. What they needed to do is just have the onesie zip up completely, and when the person died, it would be a body bag. They'd die with the remote in their hand, and just zip them up and take them out. So you're lucky that didn't happen. We didn't get that. I didn't get that Forever Lazy thing. But
I'm expecting to see Mike wearing one on next meeting.
Yes, yeah.
I have one.
I'm telling you. Well, thanks, bro. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, John. And Mary.
Hello.
Mary G.
Hey, Paul.
Or G, it's Mary. One way or the other.
Hey. Hey, great to be here, Paul. I just wanted to thank you for talking about like how real you are, right? And how like what you just shared about you feeling like sometimes you're going to just be a fraud or whatever. It's like, so what? Like just what a just what a relief that's been for me. Like there's been so much so what.
Yes, yeah.
Oh God, like I've been that serious, crazy serious, intense, person, and what's happening for me is like it's just so much more like trust, just trust. Trust in being available. Like just that's I'm so grateful for that, Paul, and I'm so grateful to you because it's the same trust that I had, like you say, getting struck sober, like that you can take to the bank, right? Like that's whatever went on, whatever that is, and just like resting in that trust and just being available, simple. And
Yeah.
I mean, so, and not in perfect ways, but it just doesn't matter. It's just can always go back to that. And I'm so grateful to you.
Well, thanks, Mary. Well, when I first saw you, I saw Mary had a lot of trust in Mary to get out of Mary. And it was serious business, yeah? And you see that? You see how unessential that is?
Well, how it's insane. It's like all,
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah.
See, the great liberation is from the need to be liberated. It is. That's it. The wisdom of no escape is that there's no place to escape from. Yeah, these things. This is the flavor of it that John, we were talking about earlier, John Kay. This is the flavor of it. Yeah, the flavor of it is the being out of self. That flavor of it didn't come from escaping self. It came from never being in self. Yeah.
Yes.
So the flavor of being out was before the in. Yeah, it's not like it's not because the flavor of being out based on you escape the in is gonna go bad. Yeah, it's got an expiration date. It's got a, yeah, it doesn't work. But the great wisdom of no escape, there's no need to escape. That's the fucking escape. Yeah.
That, yeah, yeah. That,
Yeah, so
I
this
hear
is
you.
what we're trying to convey through these talks, so that wherever that little withholding of permission is resting up in that little mechanical mentalness, we get there and just try to sort of hit that little bing, and then yeah, sort of neutralize it in a way, and then permission is there.
Yeah.
Permission for Mary to breathe. Permission for Mary to be available. Permission, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well,
Nice.
it's beautiful that you're, with us and able to, because I really appreciate when you share your own experience, as an action figure, and it's just helped me so much to just those two words, just so what,
Yeah,
and
great.
trusting that's, yeah. So just wanted to share that and say thanks, Paul.
And there's right underneath your square is Linda Stevenson, and Linda is she's a great example. Yeah. So some of the most loving people are the last ones to know that they're loving. Yes, it's just an insane thing. The head is crazy.
Yes.
It just really is. Huh?
Mary really became available to me at after the meetings a couple of weeks ago. So talk about trusting and being available. You are role modeling it, Mary. And I love you for that, and I appreciate you for that.
Oh, fantastic. See,
More rubbing.
Thanks, Linda.
there's rubbing. Yeah, that's Zoom rubbing.
And Mike is the ultimate rubber.
Yeah.
Don't mind that one. That's a good one.
It sounded pretty.
The ultimate rubber. Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. You're awesome.
Thank you, Mary.
I'm not going to go there tonight. No. All right. Let's go, Mike. Anyone else?
There's no other hands up.
Well, let's just say hello to everyone then, if we can. Let's say hello to the ultimate rubber, Mike. Yes? Yeah? Yes. Carrie, nice to see you, Carrie, as always. Carrie has been one that's been nice to watch from the beginning and stuff. Yes. It's, yeah.
Paul, yeah, I mean, I just am, I'm speechless. When I came in here, I had so many questions, and I was so, like you say, I was pretty serious. And by just hanging out for so long, even before the Zoom, I watched you like constantly, and a lot of people, but I just always went back to you for some reason. And now hanging out here, it's just been, I don't know what to say other than I like it. That's about all I can say is I like it. And yeah, I like all the people in the squares, and yeah, it's a great forum just to hang out. So thank you for this. That's all I got.
Well, yeah. Thank you, bro. Yes. And then we have Rachel. Rachel is blessed us with her visiting one more time. Nice to see you, Rachel.
Hi, good to see you too.
Yeah. She's smiling quite a lot. I'm taking that as a good sign. All right, we're gonna move to Max. Hey, Max, how are you? Yeah, nice to see you, Max.
It's good to be here.
Very nice. Yes, Max from Melbourne. We'll be coming back there, Max. Hopefully. Yeah.
When?
I don't know when, with everything up in the air, but I've spent a lot of time in Australia. I'm sure I'm coming back. And I gotta go see Robert French in New Zealand and stuff. I got some appointments to keep over there.
Good.
Yeah. Good to see you, bro. Good on you. We got Elliot. Elliot, how are you doing, my friend? All's well?
Yeah, I can actually ask you a question if
All
you
right.
want to entertain me for a second. So yeah, I mean, do you mind also that the question kind of bridges non-duality and 12-step? Is that okay, or do you prefer not?
All right. Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe I can simplify it. I really can see what you're talking about as far as the habits of believing selfing, the habits of believing to be selfing. And look, I'll just say that things have changed in my life recently, and now so much energy is coming up, so much these deep patterns of thinking and like things that were being hidden by something else that I was doing are being revealed, and it can be very overwhelming at times. And sometimes I can feel like there needs to be some sort of effort to not like believe to be those things, because I can see it really clearly a lot of the time, and then sometimes I can't see it at all, and I'm back into believing that there's something to do,
But that won't be for long, though. See, yeah, you come around much faster. So,
Yeah.
and when you feel like you've gone somewhere, it doesn't immediately demand to do anything. Yeah, it may every once in a while it may be appropriate, but it's not like the standard reaction. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
because it's gonna go. To make such a big a deal about something that's gonna go, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's
I mean,
best not to lay anything on the table because they're out of there.
totally. And I
Yeah.
also sometimes don't know how to not make a big deal about it. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, yes. Well, that
Like,
could be. That would be good, Elliot. Is after the meeting talking with some of the other characters. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
They like the ultimate rubber and all these people. They. I'm sure there's a lot. All of us will have a lot in common with everybody. Yeah.
Cool.
We just want you to see here, Elliot. See you here, and and a new norm being not taking Elliot so seriously. Yeah, and see, Elliot can't do that, but it can be expressed as Elliot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be an expression of Elliot that's not taking itself so seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. There's Robert French. Yes. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Yeah.
Good.
I hope to meet you in person one day.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it off, I'm sure. Yeah, Australia's like my second home, really.
My second home too. I got
I'm
family
really,
in Melbourne.
I love it. Yeah, I have a strong connection to it for sure. All right, let's see. There's Judith, but Hawaii could be the next place. Judith has a giant gravitational pull, so who knows? Yeah.
Well, you have a giant gravitational pull also. The
When-
infinite speaks through Paul,
yes, well,
and
yes.
the infinite hears.
Well, Judith, you're lovely. Yes, I'm very, very happy with just all the contact we all have had. Yes,
Likewise, Paul.
it's so beautiful when you have no idea how things are going to turn out. you can really see how things turn out.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you always
I
like just
definitely,
walking into something and then see what happens. Yeah,
I
and
definitely didn't think that things would turn out this way for me.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's awesome. All right, we got Brandon. Hey, Brandon, my main man. Yes.
What's up?
How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Definitely traveling lighter. A
Far
lot
out.
a lot of just it feels like an unraveling is going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of one thing after the other. Kind of like what Elliot was mentioning, where things you didn't realize were going on mentally, beliefs and things are just kind of coming up and kind of, you know,
But see, that's great now, no, because they've been waiting for you to be there for them to appear on the stage for about 5 minutes or so.
yeah, I feel that for sure.
Which is awesome. But they deserve that time on the stage. Yeah, you've gotta, yeah, see
For
it.
sure. Yeah, I struggled with that for a while. I was
Yeah.
kind of like you said earlier, using non-duality doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
And yeah,
And
I've
what
definitely done that.
gets crushed in you isn't you. It will feel like it is, but in in uh in time you'll see it. And all that withholding for that not to happen has been a real slavery. So you see the shit that you totally believed would kill you and it doesn't. Yeah. And then you realize the shell or the cocoon was being spun from inside, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool. And then, hopefully you have a support system. Hopefully this will be a part of it that you can share about what's going on. Yes?
Yeah, actually that's one thing that happened, kind of naturally just happened, you know.
Yeah.
Showed up and it's been nice for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah. All right, thanks, bro. Yeah. And we got Clifford from Chiang Mai. Now, Clifford is in a forced silence. He's taken a technical vow of silence.
Why?
Oh, he's come out. Ramana after 9 years. Clifford after 9 months. But
not.
Oh, he lost it again. Oh, we lost him. Oh, Clifford. Oh, I'm here. I can hear you now.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, only what's meant to come through will come through.
Fantastic.
So you can't see my.
Oh, no. we just lost you again. Ah. It's like someone who's like a sadistic on the mute unmute. Oh. Nice to see you, Clifford. We'll talk again. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. John K., always a pleasure, my friend.
Love you, Paul.
Johannes, yes. Remember, Johannes, you're a lifetime member of ZenBitchSlap.com.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes.
Thank
Gary, always a pleasure, man.
Thanks, Paul.
Yep.
Yep. I was over in your part of the woods actually this last weekend. I was by Bodega Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Almost got blown off of a crab boat, but managed to survive and got back and had a good time. So it's good to see you, Brandon.
Oh, good, bro. Yeah. Now stay in your corner.
All right.
All right. All right. And all right, Mary G. And Linda. Nice to see you, gals. Thank you for everything. Tommy, I don't see you, but Z, Mr. Zlatko. Zlatko, tomorrow is swimming. Yes? I'll call you after this. We got Christian. Nice to see you, brother. Again, thank you for your our little dialogues. Sanda, nice to see you, honey. We missed you the other day. Nice to see you over there. I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Just breaking up, I think.
All right, well, we'll move to another. Oh, there's Vlad. Vlad from Siberia. Yes.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Oh, you always.
Love you so
my
much.
friends Chuck and Lamar. My friends Chuck and Lamar are waiting to get in. I just want to let you know.
What's happening?
Oh, sorry. God, there's a whole bunch of people. on the wait.
I was showing the website to my friends and they all wanted to join, but my friends
sure.
Chuck and Lamar.
I just let them in.
All right, well, let me keep sharing here, though. We got Susanna W. All's well, Susanna?
All's well. Nice to be here. Thanks,
Good.
Paul.
Good to see you, honey. Come over and visit, eh?
I know. Instead of just drive by, next time I'll get out of the car.
Yeah. That's the next step. And then knock on the door. Yeah. And then hope I'm not there.
Yeah, then I can say I went by and get brownie
There you
points.
go.
Yeah.
Just keep a look. Make sure you look in the garage and see if a car's there or not.